Here's how to make your own custom barn door cabinet. So meet my handy dandy partner today. We are outside. It's a little cold for South Carolina. We're about 50 degrees right now. Welcome to our workshop, which is our backyard, because I don't have a shop. I have a back porch. But today we're making this cabinet and we want to show you what we're doing step by step, just in case you want to try it yourself. So most of our cabinet's going to be made out of this 3/4 inch plywood. Now this is the type that's smooth on both sides, a little bit more expensive, but it'll be worth it. We're going to stain it when we're done. Now we don't have any place big enough to lay this 4x8 sheet, so it just makes sense to just leave it right on the trailer and cut it right where we are. Now we're using a skill saw for this, so if you don't have any fancy tools, then here's definitely a project you can do. So we're going to get to cut these. We just really don't have that many cuts, but we've got going to go ahead and make our cuts out of this and put it together. Let me show you what we've got right now. Now this is fitting our space. Obviously you can make it however you want to make it, but we've got this bottom and top. These pieces are cut 16 inches wide and 60 inches long, and which this is going to be the back of the shelf that we're looking at right now, laying down on its face. And then we cut these at 48 inches because we want it to be, 48 inches tall, because that fits our space really well. And then, so these are our sides. And then these are going to go on the inside. So we are cutting them a little shorter than the sides because we are coming in and putting 1x4s across here, 2 of them, and then we're going to put our top down on top of that so that we can screw in from the bottom and then also give it some extra support. And then the idea behind that is to give it more meat on the front of the shelf so that we can come back with a 1x4 and go across the front. You'll have to see it in a minute, and hang our barn door rail from that so that there's something there to make it good and solid. And of course we have our shelves that are going to go in between these in the middle. And so we're going to get busy putting screws together and put everything together to tighten this up, put our back on, and come back. So here's where we are right now. We've stood it up. We've got our screws in. It's pretty strong right now. You can see our shelves, and you can see where we put our screws in over here, but these are going to be covered up with the barn doors, and it's going to be stained, so you won't be able to see it. We've left a 3/4 inch gap in the front so that we can come back with like a 1 inch by 2 inch lip, so that it looks finished. And for our screws holes on the side, we're going to put like a 1x4 or 1x2 inch strip over here and make it look finished. Now these are 1x4s that we've put across to make sure it's stronger, and then we're going to we left a 3/4 inch gap right here so that our top can go on there. We can screw it in from the bottom so we don't have any screw exposed up here, and everything looks nice and finished. And plus this makes it stronger. And not only that, but when we come back here in a little while, we're going to put a barn doors over here. We got to put a barn door rail across here. We're going to do a 1x4 strip across there to hang that rail. This will give us more wood to bite into for that. So our top is officially on, and now we have our back on as well. And you just show you a little bit here what we got. This 1x4s that we're using across, we put just a few screws up into the bottom of that top so that you don't see any screws. And of course we have the screws over here and down there as well, but we're going to cover those up with just a little bit of trim. And then our back, we're just using 1/2 inch plywood is all we're using. We're not going to stain it or do anything. Really don't care. It just provides nice strength, and of course makes it look better, from this side. So obviously we'll stain this side of it. But now the next step is to we're going to put some legs on it, or just something just to get it up off the floor. And then we're going to put a strip, 1x4 strip across here for our barn door rail as we're getting ready to put that up and build our doors. So now we've tied in our 1x4 across here. It's kind of like a header for our barn door rail. And of course we had to put some screws in here to tighten it up, but our barn door rail is going to go across there, so it should cover it up. But if we need to, we can come back with some wood putty and cover those up. And then instead of buying like 1x1s, 1x2s, we just cut a 1x4 in half and made a kind of like a lip kind of finish it up, as you can see right here. And of course we have that one ready to go in this spot here. So we'll tie that in, and then we'll make our barn doors. So at this point, we're ready to make our barn doors. Now in the past, we've made barn doors out of like 1x4s. But this time, because we've got this 3/4 inch sheet of plywood, we're gonna stick with that. So we've marked our lines out here to cut out 2 doors, and we're gonna go over top of that with some 1x4s to make it look like a barn door. So make use of what you got so that's not, you know, super expensive. So we finished up our barn doors, and those were pretty simple. Like I said, we just used the 3/4 inch plywood that we've already been using, just so that we didn't have to spend a lot more money. We ran some 1x4s across the top and the bottom. And another reason why that we want to thicken it up a little bit is because, you know, we've got this 3/4 inch overhang here, and we're going to put our rail up, and then it's all going to stick out. So this is about 1.5 inches, and that's going to only leave probably about 1/8 of an inch in between here once the doors are up, so that they can slide up under this lip right here. So now we're gonna busy sanding, and then we're ready to stain it. Yep. You guys are doing great. Staining our new cabinet. It's looking good, good job. Well, the stainers are finished. Good job, stainers, it looks great. There's a few things that we are going to do. We're gonna hang our barn rail up, which we've already partially got done. I want to show you a little bit about that, but we've got a few screw holes that you can see, but I'm going to take some of the putty that actually matches this stain and cover those when we're done. So you won't hardly be able to see those things. But let me show you about the barn rail. We've done several barn rails with various projects, and this one I bought off Amazon. I think it was about 50 bucks, and it's too long, you know, for this, but it's no big deal. So what we did is we just come and took a saw and sawed it off right there. And of course it has these like little end caps that you put on, so it's going to cover that up, and it keeps the doors from going off of the rail. So pretty simple to do. You've just got some spacers. Choose where you want it to be as far as hanging on your door, you know, because it's going to be like so, and then our door is going to go up and attach, you know, to this, and leave just a small gap in between here so to slide. Just put your spacers in, and we still have one that we're working on right here, and you just slide that spacer down in behind there, and then take your bolt and pop it right on through. And it's pretty simple, really. This one actually is a little different because this bolt is actually holding these rails together. But even with me cutting it off, it's such a short run. It's still very, very sturdy. So, all right, finish our barn doors, getting those on, and putting this putty on these to cover that up. All right, so that one is on and sturdy. We'll knock the dust off, and our rail is finished. All right, I'll push on it, and you go. Okay. So let me show you where we're putting it and what we're replacing. So this is the dresser that we're replacing. This is an old Facebook buy that we found for like 50 bucks several years ago, and the covers, the fronts, the doors, whatever you call them, are actually popping off. So we're done. So we're actually customizing it to fit in this space in the right width, height, the whole 9 yards. So this is a little before. I'll show you what it looks like after. So no more dresser. Now you've got this really cool cabinet with barn doors, and you guys are watching the Lego movie, and you've got Legos all across the top because the top turned out really good. And your barn doors, you got your gaming stuff inside there, but as you open it up, just joining, you've got a pile of Nerf guns. We might come back and put some shelves in there at some point, but for now that fits. And this side, you can open it up for us just so. Got some storage stuff in there as well. So pretty fun project, and we did that for about $250, barn rail and all.